I'm so glad that you're all here. I really am. You know what this is. Let me get right for a second, though. How you feeling? How you feeling? Hey! I am your guy, Jay, the captain of Team Cozy. What's going on? This is the warm-up. Season 1, Episode 11, Week 11, Round 11. You know how we do it every week. This is Designated Reports NFL pregame show. We appreciate you checking in. Deuce 3102, man, every week. I appreciate you, bro. And for everybody that's been here since day 1 or day right now, all feeling good. We always got some things to talk about. We got topics we've been talking about. We got new topics. Tell me, you see the pinned comment, what aren't we talking about enough? And before we jump in, playlist as always curated by your boy, me. This week, my guy, Ryan Leslie. One of my favorite artists, producers of all time. If you like it, I'll turn it up. If you don't, it's too bad. Every week about this time, we do what we do. We talk football. We talk strategy. We talk pizza and wings. We talk your 5-minute warning. We talk fantasy. We talk reality. What's up to everybody checking in? Let's get started. Like we always do, Thursday night football to start us off. It was a good one. No Hail Murray. No Hail Murray. No miracles. But he was involved. And Seattle gave Kyler Murray some trouble. Not fits. Didn't kill him. Made some trouble for him. And Seattle won the game 28-21 on Thursday night. Carlos Hyde. Who? I like Carlos Hyde. I have since San Francisco. He did a little something. He came back from a hamstring injury. Got the bulk of the carries. And made the most. I mean, when Chris Carson comes back, it's his job. But, man, Carlos Hyde on the shelf for 3 games. Comes back and does what? Ran angry. 14 carries, but averaged more than 5 yards per. That ain't bad. Carlos Hyde, what up? DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett doing what they do. Each had a touchdown. And now each of them, number 1 in the league in touchdown receptions and number 2. This is incredible, man. Can you have 2 receivers leading the league from the same team? Can we finish the season this way? I'm intrigued to see it. I'm intrigued to see it. Shout out to all the fantasy owners like King Alcide that picked up Carlos Hyde and cashed out. I like it. D-Rock, what? What up to my boy? We always shout you out. Emmy Award winning Danny Rocco of NBC Sports. Thanks for checking in. Family. Carlos Dunlap, we remember him. So excited to get out of Cincinnati. Darn near didn't change. Took his own sign off the parking spot. Ran to Seattle from Cincinnati. Didn't have a great game last week, but nobody did for Seattle really, right? But in the 3 games he's been there, he had 2 good ones. And it looks like this guy is getting the pass rush going for Seattle. Carlos Dunlap. What'd he do? 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, Carlos Dunlap, including the game-winning sack on Kyler Murray when he was trying to make another miracle happen. Down 7. This guy's a big pickup. And I think it's just what Seattle needed. Again, so many people's NFC favorites. But they were lacking there. They need offensive line help too, but they're not going to get it in personnel. They're going to get it in people stepping up and doing what they need to do and staying healthy. getting consistent. Russ has done so much without an offensive line for so long. We're just like, all right, whatever. He'll run around. He darn near throws better on the run than he does in the pocket, so whatever. But then you start counting the rings, and he's only got one. He needs protection. They all do. Lamar needs protection. Cam needs protection. Kyler needs protection. Just because you can run around doesn't mean that you should be. Right? According to, and listen, I know we talk about this every single week. That Russ MVP campaign, I think is back on track. According to the NFL Research Department, Russell Wilson is the 5th quarterback since the merger to have 30 pass touchdowns and 110 at least as a passer rating through the first 10 games of a season. Here's why I think he's back. Because it's not like the Heisman campaign where people really remember that one game. Like, oh, he had a bad game against LSU. Oh, he stunk it up against Michigan. So, nah, we can't. NFL is pretty cumulative. So you look at a stat like that I just passed you, and mind you, all of the previous 4 guys who in their first games had 30 pass touchdowns and 110 passer rating or more, all won the MVP. Who you ask? I'll tell you, we got time. Patrick Mahomes in 2018, Peyton Manning 2013, Aaron Rodgers 2011, also got the Super Bowl that year, and Brady in 2007 also. So, he's in rarefied air. It's not solidified. He's got to be consistent. With that campaign, oh, we're back on. That train is right back on the tracks. Russ for MVP. I called the week 2. I got receipts. You were here. Taysom Hill's going to start at quarterback, people. Taysom Hill, 30-year-old gadget player, will start at quarterback for the New Orleans Saints today with Drew Brees on IR. This was huge. This was huge news. Why is it huge news? Because they got another quarterback who threw for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns and 30 picks last season, Jameis Winston. If you got a guy that you just acquired onto your team who threw for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions, that's the guy that has to play, right? I don't care who's getting paid more. This is the guy who's taken 5 years of meaningful snaps. You want to win a couple games, you put in the guy who threw for 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 30 interceptions, and Jameis Winston. But I think they got to see what they got in Taysom Hill. Has there ever been a 30-year-old quarterback where you don't know what he's got? And I mean a guy who's been on the field. He plays a good percentage of the team's snaps. 25%, would you say? You don't know what he's got as a passer. Y'all about to find out today. What do I think? I hope he does well. Who else picked him up in fantasy to play him at tight end? I don't trust him at quarterback yet. Also, I'm afraid that ESPN's going to change his designation to quarterback only. But right now, Taysom Hill is listed as a quarterback and a tight end. He's only owned in 70% of leagues. So if he's still out there, you should pick him up right here, right now, and play him at tight end because he's about to put up 18 today. Easy. He's always, man, this guy's a Buccaneer killer, so I know. This guy's always making plays. Third down. He can do some things in the red zone. Running. Passing, I don't know. Made a huge completion in the playoffs last year, don't forget. As a receiver too. So they said that he took all of the first team reps in practice. So I don't see them trying to do this Taysom Hill gadget stuff with Jameis coming. I think Taysom Hill is the quarterback. They want to see if this is it for Drew Brees. If this is really the final frontier, who's it going to be? They want to see if it's Taysom Hill. My prediction. He throws for 100 yards. he rushes for 50, 60, and rushes for 2 touchdowns. That's what I'm saying. And that's big money as a tight end in fantasy. But we're talking real life right now. Who would you guys pick in the comments? Who would you guys go with? Jameis Winston? Or would you go Taysom Hill? Mind you, the Saints are what? What's their record? They ain't 3-7. They're chasing the Lombardi right now. So we're not playing around. So who do you want to win some games until Drew Brees comes back? I don't care. I just hope they lose. I see Winston in there. I see Winston in there. You know what you have in him. You got a guy who's going to throw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns and 3 picks and fumble. But you know what you got in him. Is he a winner? Not really. And maybe that's what it is. He's not a winner. He's a numbers guy. And this is a division game they got. Speaking of, picks. Let's get to the picks. I got the Bengals winning in Washington. Even though Washington has allowed the fewest pass yards in the league, yeah, the Washington football team is number 1 in the league in passing yards allowed. And even though I think Joe Burrow, the number 1 overall pick, I think he turns up. And I think they get it done. Alex Smith last week. I kept hearing Alex Smith, career high in pass yards. Been around the league for so long, done some great things. But last week, at his age, coming back was the career high in passing yards. Yeah, but it was also the career high in pass attempts. If you give me that many chances to drop back, if you give me 55 pass attempts, I better put up 390 or more. And that's what he did. See, numbers do lie. Numbers do lie. And the people on here be lying to you too, but not the guy in here, man. I'm telling to you right now. A career high in pass attempts should be a career high in pass completions. Should be a career high in passing yards. Don't let him trick you. Alex Smith is still Alex Smith. All right? Which is good. And we want him to be the comeback player of the year, but the comeback player of the year is not decided by the severity of the injury. It's about how well you play when you came back. Again, Big Ben, since week 2, has had this wrapped up. There's really nobody else in the race. No disrespect to Alex Smith. Watch that documentary. It's gruesome. Bengals over Washington. What are the people saying? They feel me. I think they picked the Bengals too. Joe, get it. Joey B, get it. I got the Saints at home over the Falcons. I know. The Falcons offense should be scary, but it hasn't been. Todd Gurley scores touchdowns at a crazy clip his whole career. He was hurt. He came back. No, he's not Marshall Faulk. No, he's not Todd Gurley from a few years ago, but he's effective and a good back. Look what he's doing this year. But it's still it's not translating. Calvin Ridley, I had as the breakout player of the year. I had Calvin Ridley as this year's Chris Godwin. And he started hot. 100-yard games. And has cooled off. Now he's having 60-yard games. Julio Jones is Julio Jones. This should be a scary offense. And it's just not. So, I got a feeling. Let me see what the people are saying. I got a feeling about Taysom Hill running around and making it happen on 3rd down and in the red zone. That's all. I don't think they're going to win by 20. I don't think it's going to be convincing. I don't think Taysom Hill's throwing for 300 or anything like that. But the Falcons don't impress me. I got the Steelers winning in Jacksonville because I got the Texans winning at home against the Patriots. And listen, the Patriots wide receivers have combined for 1 receiving touchdown this season, which kind of makes sense because nobody outside of Massachusetts can name an active wide receiver for the New England Patriots right now. But that's not good. That's not good. You can't win football in 2020 at the professional level without being able to throw the ball and have receivers that can catch that ball. So I'm saying you got to get these receivers going, but Bill Belichick historically cannot scout them, cannot draft competent wide receivers. But what did I just say? You can't win without that. Yeah. Unless you got somebody slinging the rock like Brady was for 20 years. And then you got guys like Wes Welker, who was nobody, coming over and making a name for himself. Edelman, same thing. Deion Branch, Super Bowl MVP, right? He made them household names. He didn't make them good. They were good, but he made them household names. And now, like, who are the guys over there? We keep complaining about weapons, right? Belichick said, I maxed out. He waited till they were losing to say that, though, right? I'm just putting that out there. We don't got the guys because money and because all this kind of stuff. Listen, your quarterback is setting rushing records for quarterbacks to this point, and that's great. But it's not translating. This is Cam Newton. This is Cameron Newton. And believe it or not, this is not how he wins. Believe it or not, this is not how he's been winning. Listen to me. If you're New England, you're getting the guy that you want to resurrect, the 2015 guy. But you're not using him like the 2015 guy. You're just kind of doing what they did after that in Carolina, which is kind of run him into the ground. And God forbid he gets hurt again, then what you got? He didn't win the MVP in 2015 by rushing for 1,000 yards. He ran for 600, which is still incredible. But he wasn't like this designated runner. They had a full running game. I know Sony Michel's been hurt, but he's back. Let's see. You have to have Cam Newton throw the ball. If he drops back 10 times, you have to design 8 throws and 2 runs. Because that's how he's been successful historically. Right now, they're running him about 3 times. 30% of the time of his snaps, he's running. Listen, man. Let RG3 tell you. Don't let me tell you. Run him third down, red zone, just like I was saying Taysom Hill. Run him a few times between the 20s, right? When you need to. But that shouldn't be your offense because he's shown you. If you watch Cam Newton, he's shown you that he doesn't need to do that to be successful. And Bill scouted that. So I don't know why they're playing him like this. Or, very importantly, Cam Newton is trash. And I just wasted everybody's time. Let's see what happens. I got them losing going to Houston. I got the Browns over the Eagles because I got the Titans winning in Baltimore over the Ravens. That's just me. I said this last week. I don't trust Lamar. I was trusting of him in the regular season. I don't trust him anymore because I'm not impressed with the offense. I know his game. I don't need him to throw. Again, I don't need him to throw for 280 or 300. But man, how are you throwing for 100? How are you throwing for 190? But then you're also not running for 80. Again, you win third down and red zone, right? And they've been winning. But this is the Titans. They want to control the clock because they got a runner too. So it might put the Ravens in a situation where they got to score fast. Do they have the horses? You're about to bring Dez Bryant, no disrespect, you're about to bring Dez Bryant off the practice squad. So, what do you really got in the stable? What do you really believe about your offense here? I don't know. I don't trust Baltimore right now. Chargers. Listen, people been hating on the Chargers because they don't win. And this league is all about winning. I get that. But as of last week, only 2 teams in the whole league have been in every game to the point that they never lost by more than 7 points. The first team, the undefeated Steelers, right? The second team was the Chargers. Hadn't lost by 7 points. They were in every game. Last week they lost to the Dolphins by 8. They're there every week. I get it. Herbert's not. I get it. But it's not on him. And y'all came at me in the comments last week because I said he doesn't have weapons. That they're not stepping up. Mike Williams, inconsistent. Had one 100-yard game this season, all right? Keenan Allen, we know what we got there, right? God bless you. Stay healthy. On defense, they're missing guys. And that's what I'm talking about. You need to get the ball back. You need help. Hunter Henry will never match his pre-draft hype. He never will. Who are your running backs? Justin Herbert is the only quarterback in the Super Bowl era to win 1 or fewer games but have a passer rating over 100. He's doing his job. Young man is doing his job. So, I mean, they're playing the Jets. I should have just they're playing the Jets, so I got the Chargers over the Jets. But I want to talk about Justin Herbert. I got the Dolphins going to Denver, Mile High, and getting it done. For everybody out there, if you plan on going to games in Denver, this is the last game they're allowing fans to go to. So, if you wanted to go, first of all, don't. Stay home. Second of all, you lost your chance. Next year, maybe. Wear a mask. The Dolphins are quietly 6-3, and Tua is quietly 3-0. Quietly. This man's about his business. Tua time is serious, though. Tua time is serious. And I like it. I got him. Vikings over the Cowboys because Packers at the Colts. But I am curious to see how the Packers offense looks on the road against a defense that good who is allowing the fewest yards in the league. The Packers went on the road to Tampa and played another top 5 defense in the Bucs and got swat-buckled. So, I don't know. Let's see. If the Packers lose today, they're on fraud alert. I'm just saying that. If the Packers lose today, they're on fraud alert. I got the Chiefs at the Raiders Sunday Night Football because the Chiefs, they're not losing to the Raiders twice. And because there's bad blood. The Raiders won in Kansas City week 5, and the buses did a victory lap around the stadium in Kansas City before they left. So, Andy Reid didn't forget that. And then Monday Night Football, listen, I love my Bucks, and there is a rivalry. I don't know if non-Bucks fans know this, non-Rams fans. The Rams and the Bucks have had some really good showdowns throughout the past, 20-ish years, 15 to 20 years. But somebody had me dying. They said Brady can't play past his bedtime. And it's kind of true. They're 1-2 in primetime games, night games. And that one was barely a win against the Giants on possibly a no call. The Bears, the Giants, the Saints. He's sacked a total of 8 times. His averages are 247 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. This is not the guy from 1 o'clock games. Trust. His completion percentage is down. His yards are down. And the Rams just beat the Seahawks, forcing 3 turnovers. And what they do, sack Russ 6 times. So, heads up. Also, shout out to the first all-black officiating crew on Monday Night Football. The first. Weird, right? It was the first for everything. It took way too long, though. So right now, we're gonna spend more time on this next week. But the playoff picture, if all of my picks go correct, which they always do, in the AFC, what up, commenters? Pittsburgh's got your bye. The Raiders would be the 7th seed playing the Chiefs again. Week 5, today, and a third time in that wild card weekend. The Browns at the 6th seed, Tennessee the 3 seed, and then Dolphins and Bills play each other, the 5 and the 4, which is another AFC another divisional matchup, the AFC East. So that's a third time for them. Can you see a world where Baltimore is out, but Cleveland is in for the playoffs? The Colts are also on the outside looking in. In the NFC, Green Bay, as of now, if the playoffs ended today, if the season ends today, Green Bay's got the first round bye. And it would be the 7-seed Cardinals against the 2-seed Saints. The 6-seed Bucks against the Rams again. Seattle going to Philly. Isn't it? We feel like Seattle's always playing at home for the playoffs, right? So this would be strange. Everybody wants that 5 seed to play against whoever wins the NFC East. Everybody wants that. I'll just put that out there. Be clear, this is the 5-minute warning. You got 5 minutes to set your fantasy lineups. You got 5 minutes to get your life together, get your pizza and your wings situated. You got 5 minutes to tell your significant other that for the next 7 hours, you ain't doing nothing. Maybe some laundry on a commercial break. 5 minutes to get it all together. Peace and love. I'll let you go to handle that. Come back next Sunday, 12:30, at Designated Report, Instagram Live. This is the warm-up. Much love to everybody.